So maybe you've heard the term old money aesthetic being thrown around on the internet recently. I certainly have. Now, maybe you're like me and you've asked yourself, what exactly is this old money aesthetic? After a quick Google search, we can conclude the old money aesthetic is your key to achieving an air of distinction and refinement. Old money is an aesthetic based around wealthy classic style. Old money refers to people who have inherited their wealth instead of working for it. Now, after seeing this statement and some other Google images when you search in old money aesthetic, I've come up with my own definition, which is timeless and classic styles and fabrics over fashion-forward and trendy pieces. Now, to put this in simple terms, there are 5 main rules that you should follow. Rule number 1, invest in quality over quantity. You've got to take a large portion of your budget and buy pieces that are going to last a long time, rather than buying a bunch of cheaper pieces that are going to start looking really rough really fast. Rule number 2, timeless classics over trends. For example, it is better to wear a classic watch like this Seiko SKX rather than the latest and greatest trendy Apple Watch or smartwatch that came out, or whatever's the latest trend in the fashion industry. Rule number 3, focus on the fit. When it comes to men's fashion and style, fit is key, fit is king. But lots of guys end up wearing things too baggy, and then when they try to get things that are slim fit, they just feel that it's too tight, or they actually overcorrect and go too tight. You want to fall somewhere in the middle. A nice fitted cut close to your body. Rule number 4, focus on subtle pieces and subtle colors rather than big, loud, gaudy statement pieces. Taking a look at my shirt and jacket, navy blue dress shirt. Medium blue sport coat creates a bit of contrast. Nice, solid white pocket square. Mentioned a very simple SKX watch, a nice silver or white gold rather ring that matches the watch perfectly. I've got on a nice pair of khaki colored chinos, nice medium brown dress shoes with a medium brown belt to match. And rule number 5, you're going to want to accessorize wisely. If you wear glasses like me, you're going to want to make sure that you choose a nice frame that fits your face in a classic color such as brown. And those transition lenses, which are regular glasses on the inside, but when you step outside in the sun, they turn into sunglasses. Those don't quite fit the old money wardrobe aesthetic as a regular pair of glasses that don't change into sunglasses when you step into the sun. Staying on the topic of eyewear, you're going to want to choose sunglasses like Ray-Ban Wayfarer style or new Wayfarers, or if you choose to go with something a bit more classic like the Aviators, those styles are going to work out a lot better for this aesthetic than those sporty wraparound sunglasses. If you're wearing a suit or a sport coat, something like a simple white pocket square is always going to be appropriate. You can never go wrong with a white pocket square. It's going to match with everything, and it is a really simple, affordable way to take your outfits from here to here. We mentioned rings and watches before. Keep it classic, keep it simple, keep it timeless. We didn't have Apple watches and sporty rings back in the 1950s or 60s. If you want to match that old money aesthetic, you've got to go classic with your ring and your watch. Now that we've settled a couple of ground rules, let's take a look at my outfit and see if I'm actually matching that old money aesthetic. All right, taking a look at the top, I've got that dark blue dress shirt, got the cuffs showing right here. Check it out right there. Fits properly. The jacket also fits properly as well. I can button it up. The fit is good. It's not super slim. I don't feel like a sausage wearing this shirt. Shoulder seams hit exactly where they're supposed to. No collar gap here. White pocket square with a nice simple fold adds a nice bit of pizzazz to the outfit. And these nice khaki colored chinos fit me perfectly. They are not too tight. They are not too loose. They are a little bit more on the slim side. That is my preference. And we've got some nice medium brown dress shoes with a medium brown matching belt. Now, looking at this outfit from face value or from this distance, you could probably say, yeah, it does match the old money aesthetic. However, there are 4 things that I am doing wrong here if I really want to match that old money aesthetic 100%. Before you watch any further in this video, I want you to go down in the comments, let me know if you can identify these 4 things that I could be doing better to better match the old money aesthetic. Got your comment down there? Good. Thanks so much. Mistake number 1, silicone sporty ring right here. Now, when I first said, let's take a look at my outfit, I don't know if you caught it, but I did a quick switch on you. Started the video out wearing this nice silver wedding ring, but you may have noticed that I was wearing the darker ring. And while the silicone ring is a lot more comfortable and a lot better for exercising, or if it's raining, it's not gonna fly off your hand, this is not timeless. This has no place in the old money wardrobe aesthetic. All right, much better. Mistake number 2 should be pretty easy for you right now. I am not wearing the SKX anymore. I switched out to my Apple Watch. Now, even though this is a more dressy watch face, it's nice and slim, and I've got a nice black band right here. Any smartwatch, no matter what color band, what kind of band, or how dressy the watch face is, doesn't have any place in the old money aesthetic. Let's just go ahead and, all right, there we go, much better. Back to square one, very classic, very timeless. Now these next two, most of you probably didn't catch it, but I'll give you a big hint. It has to do with the pockets on my chinos. These are actually 5-pocket jean style chinos, and you can see that my hands can go like this rather than these slant pockets in the more dressier dress pants or dressier chinos. And while these fit very well, the color is very classic and it matches the outfit beautifully. The casual style chinos are not going to match this aesthetic as something like a nicer, more formal style chino like these from Banana Republic. The fourth mistake I'm making is the hardest mistake to catch just because it is masked by the pants. I am wearing a pair of Cole Haan Original Grand Hybrid dress shoes. Now when it comes to matching function and fashion, nothing is better than a hybrid dress shoe such as the Cole Haan wingtips. It gives you the comfort of a sneaker but looks so much better, and you can really dress it up quite a bit. All that being said, they are very trendy, they are very fashion forward, they're very tech infused, and they cannot hold a candle to a very classic dress shoe like this that has a stacked heel, leather sole, and has a lot less creasing since it is a much higher quality shoe. But the major downside to a shoe like this is comfort. The Cole Haan hybrid shoe is going to be a lot better and a lot more comfortable for those long walks to the office. But there is an option that is just as formal as a shoe like this, however is miles better when it comes to comfort. That option I'm talking about is dress boots. This is the Allen Edmonds Landon cap toe dress boot. You could see how sleek it is. You could see how smooth the leather is as well. And when compared to a standard dress shoe like the McAllister Wingtip Oxford, they are much more comfortable. So if you need the style and formality of dress shoes, but you need a lot more comfort since you got foot problems or you got to walk long distances, I highly recommend you check out something like the Allen Edmonds Landon cap toe or some other dress boots. They are normally a lot more comfortable and a lot more supportive than standard dress shoes. All right, now we are really cooking with the old money aesthetic. We made those changes and now the outfit is 100%. We changed out the Apple Watch and silicone ring to the more classic SKX diver watch, which I wear as a dress watch, and a very nice white gold Celtic cross wedding ring that matches very nicely with the silver on the watch. Started off wearing the 5-pocket khaki colored chinos, the Levi's 511s, and while the coloring did work awesome with all the blue on top, they just weren't quite as classic and didn't fit that old money aesthetic as good as a more classic formal pair of slant pocket khaki colored chinos. And to top it off with the shoes, we nixed the Cole Haans and threw on the beautiful, stylish, classic, comfortable Allen Edmonds Landon cap toe dress boot. All right, now let's keep going with what else you should be wearing if you want to have this old money aesthetic. For pants, you're really going to want to stick to the more formal, more classic options here. Now for me, I would just go ahead and nix the dark denim altogether for that old money look. Of course, wool dress pants, or if you have a suit and you want to break it up and wear those dress pants as dress pants alone, those are going to work beautifully. However, I would always pick the cotton chinos. They're going to be cheaper, more durable, and they're going to be machine washable, so you don't have to spend a fortune on dry cleaning all the time. Now for colors, you're going to want to stick to your earth tones like we were saying at the start of this video. Various shades of khaki, gray, and navy blue are going to be your best bet, and if you're a bit more adventurous, you can go with something like olive green. And of course, stay away from those super bright, super flashy statement pieces like red, orange, pink, bright green. Those colors don't work for this aesthetic. For shirts, various shades of white and blue are going to work best here. You can wear patterned shirts, just keep the patterns nice and subtle, nice and simple, like this nice medium blue micro gingham polo from Collars & Co, or this darker blue, again, micro gingham polo from Collars & Co. If I back up, you can see that these patterns are not very noticeable unless you get up close. This is a great way to add a little bit of extra pizzazz to your outfits. When it comes to dress shirts, your standard slim fit long sleeve button-ups are going to work beautifully here. You can go with something like a darker blue like I'm wearing, but you can never go wrong with a light blue or the white. I would say the light blue is the most versatile and the most useful for you to get first, but you can't go wrong with that white dress shirt that you're going to need for formal wear. Other options are going to be your light blue Oxford cloth button down. You can see this has a bit of texture to it. It's got that button down collar, and the Oxford shirt is going to be a little bit easier to wear with jeans and wear untucked than those standard dress shirts. Now when it comes to polos, stick to your nicer, more dressy, more formal polo shirts like this one from Collars & Co. Now these dress collar polos aren't going to be quite as classic as a more traditional polo with the standard collar and sleeves that are slightly shorter. They do have a nice slim fit and they've got a lot of stretch in them, so as long as you get the right size, they are going to look absolutely awesome and you should have no problem fitting in with the old money look. Now, some other amazing options for matching the old money look would be those textured polos. Those are really going to take your look from here to here and they're going to match this aesthetic better than any other polo. Now when it comes to sweaters, anything in a nice wool fabric that fits you properly is going to work here while also keeping you very comfortable as the temperatures get colder. One of my personal favorites is going to be the merino wool V-neck fitted sweater in navy blue. And as you can see, you can throw it over your light blue polo shirt and you're going to look like an absolute boss, while simultaneously creating some amazing contrast if you happen to be wearing khaki colored chinos like me. The V-neck as opposed to the crew neck sweater is going to be a lot more versatile since you can dress it up a lot more, but something like this quarter zip is also going to be a great option if you want to be a little bit more casual than that V-neck. Now this should go without saying at this point, but any sweater that you choose, whether it's the V-neck, quarter zip, or crew neck, they all need to fit you properly. As far as fabrics, you have a couple of options such as cashmere, cotton, and wool. But for me, I'm always going to recommend you try merino wool. It's going to keep you both very warm if it gets cold, but it's going to regulate your temperature if you step inside of a store and the heat is blasting. And when compared to chunkier fabrics, the merino wool is going to be super easy to layer a sport coat or winter jacket over just because it is so thin. Flannels are not going to work here. They are much too casual. And now we got to talk about jackets. Technical jackets like this LL Bean PrimaLoft Packaway jacket are not going to work at all for the old money aesthetic. And even though I absolutely love this LL Bean Packable PrimaLoft jacket, navy blue with the orange zippers, they don't work at all since they just look too sporty and too modern and sometimes too trendy. What you can do is choose jackets like field jackets, quilted jackets, or wax jacket. However, something that you could also do is just wear one of your sport coats as outerwear. This is going to look great, especially if you wear it over a sweater. For added warmth and style, you could use a scarf and you could do other things like pop up the collar and lapel for a more casual look. This can definitely replace some of your lightweight or even medium jackets for some of those mild fall and winter days. Now for heavyweight jackets, you've got a couple of options. If you want to go a bit more dressy, anything in a nice wool in either navy, gray, or black is going to work beautifully. This particular peacoat is from Schott NYC. It is their 740N as in Nancy model, and the cut is a bit roomy, but it still does have a slim appearance and it is one of the warmest jackets I've ever worn. But if peacoats aren't your thing, you can go with something like a nice wool top coat or a car coat. Just make sure you avoid those ones that have that zip-in zipper inside. Again, that's going to make that classic wool jacket look too trendy and too fashion forward, which is something you want to avoid for the old money aesthetic. Now when it comes to more casual winter outerwear, you do have a bit more options. A nice clean slim fit parka jacket like this one from J. Crew is going to work for you 95% of the time. And while parka jackets aren't going to be quite as dressy or formal as the wool top coat or the peacoat, they are going to be overall a lot easier to live with since most of them come with hoods and most of them are water resistant if not waterproof. Not to mention, compared to the peacoat, which is double breasted, it's going to be a lot easier to wear something like this open, meaning that if the temperature starts to rise unexpectedly, you can cool down a lot faster by just unzipping your jacket. And when it comes to colors, you should probably know what I'm going to say by now. Stick to classic colors like charcoal gray, navy blue, black. They used to make this one in olive, which also looks pretty cool. Staying with these earth tones or boring tones just means you're going to have a lot more flexibility if you do want to wear this over your suit if you happen to be going to a winter wedding. So what does this mean for you? You want to match this old money aesthetic. Do you always have to stand by the rules 100% and sacrifice things like warmth, comfort, and sometimes even all of your money? Well, we're all going to have different opinions here, but I am of the opinion that some of the rules were made to be broken and you don't need to be 100% of anything if it doesn't work out for you. For example, when it comes to shoes, I will always choose a classic dress shoe or dress boot over something like a super comfy hybrid dress shoe like my Cole Haans. However, if the weather's bad and I've got to walk 10 miles in New York City and my feet are killing me, I'm going to go with my Cole Haans or something just as comfortable every time rather than wearing something like a proper leather-soled classic traditional dress shoe just because it's the rules. Now, I love this LL Bean jacket even though it has absolutely no place in the old money aesthetic. So I'm going to continue to wear this one and not worry about not matching 100% of that old money look. And if I want to look a little bit more classic, I'm just going to grab one of my sport coats, throw it on over this jacket, and now it's going to look a lot more appropriate. Now, yes, this is totally breaking the rules with this technical fabric and this bright orange zipper. However, between the merino wool sweater, the LL Bean packable jacket, and the sport coat on top, I'd be good, or you would be good if you're just like me, down to about 40 degrees Fahrenheit. And you could even do things like wear a hat and wear a nice scarf and a nice pair of gloves. You're still going to look very stylish, but you're going to be a lot warmer than if you just nixed the LL Bean jacket because it was against the rules. Now, when it comes to pants, if I happen to be wearing my 5-pocket Levi's 511s in the color khaki, but I wanted to dress up a little bit more to match that old money aesthetic, I won't be going through the trouble of changing out of those more casual pants into these slam pocket chinos from Banana Republic. But I should mention that if I am going to get more dressed up and go to the office, I wouldn't be wearing the Levi's 511 chinos anyway. I would go straight to the more dressy chinos. So the point on this one is moot. And when it comes to watches and rings, it really depends on what I feel. If I want to wear my Apple Watch because I'm walking for a long time, or if I want to actually see my heart rate that day, I have no problem wearing my Apple Watch with the dressy watch face and the black band. However, I should mention, unless I'm exercising or unless I'm dressing super casually, I'm always going to choose my Seiko SKX since it's a lot more convenient not to have to worry about charging a battery every day. And when it comes to rings, I do enjoy wearing the silver ring, especially with this watch just because it matches so good. The problem that I have with the classic rings is if I wash my hands or if it's raining and my hands get wet, the ring starts to slip off pretty quickly. And of course, if I'm going to the gym or I'm going for a bike ride, I'm choosing the silicone ring. But overall, I do enjoy the silver Celtic cross ring a lot more than my casual rings. So there you have it. Those are a couple of things that you can do to help achieve that old money aesthetic a little bit better. And of course, you don't need to follow all of these rules 100%. I especially would not recommend sacrificing a big portion of your budget, the comfort of your feet, or being way too cold just to get the old money look 100%. Thanks for watching.